it looks like just a click through GUI.
Okay,
It says it's starting it up right now.
perfect.
I think we are actually freaking live.
Says the meeting's being live streamed.
Yes, we are officially live streamed
Perfect.
and live stream URL. Yeah, we are on the air, boys.
Excellent. Now we just need to wait for the man of honor.
Awesome, awesome. So, Mo, man, Mo, what have you been up to? Haven't talked to you much, man.
No, Jake, really haven't, man. How you been? I haven't been up to a lot, but nothing too crazy.
Dude, I'm doing a very routine life here. It's a lot of gym, a lot of jujitsu, a lot of work, lot of work. Oh my gosh, man. It's like
Yeah.
we we are responsible for developing modern web applications that are taking the place of old legacy applications. But during the development life cycle, which is very long, we have to not only build all the integrations within our new modern ecosystem, but we have to integrate it all into the legacy ecosystem, which some of the software must be 30 or 40 years old.
Holy shit.
Um, and it's, I mean, some of it's in COBOL, some of it's in Microsoft Basic, and a lot of it is like a black box. It's hard to even know who the teams are at our company that are responsible for certain parts of this old ecosystem. And so at the same time as we're doing this development, other teams are developing other parts of these legacy systems that we are depending on. There's actually a change going on in the
Yep.
government with the way that uh, they file some of the business records. And so without any warning, some service might fail and stop working, and that could impede our team. And even more than impeding our team, it creates this lack of clarity where it's just like, hey, is this working? Is this not working? Do we
What do we
need to pivot
do?
onto something else?
Yeah.
So, in other words, I have a lot of job security.
That's a good way to put it. I'm actually very curious about one thing I saw today. They were talking about COBOL and how it's like people thought it would be a dead language and all this shit, and how there are more people retiring than ever that have learned this like ancient language, right? But there's not a lot of people learning it and picking it up, and that's where a lot of systems were like built off of that language that are trusted, like ATM transactions, banking, medical records, stuff like that. I mean, I saw like a brief video on it, so but it was just I was curious to see what you guys how you if you guys have people that actually code in COBOL, or is that not a thing?
Oh, we sure do, man. I was just on some Microsoft Teams meetings with them. So you're exactly right. It's these old legacy systems. It's all of the banking infrastructure. And, IBM created this product called Mainframe,
Yes,
and
I actually toured the
it's like
facility and I saw it
extremely,
built.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
extremely popular. Like it's all over the place. So that's what our legacy systems are all based on.
Oh
And
shit.
that's like built in COBOL. That's their like native like I actually this might
Uh,
even be a lie. I'm pretty sure this is the case, but I don't really I'm not an expert on it. But yeah, so I think it's weird because it's something that's really good for senior developers to know, or at least, guys who have some sort of like DevOps SRE experience where they're, trusted. But like, I can't really imagine a junior developer getting his hands on a COBOL system because these are like really high sensitivity projects. And it's like, I wouldn't ever let anyone. I wouldn't even want someone at my experience level messing with one of these ancient COBOL systems because this is like the foundation on which really important stuff is built.
And there's no
So,
like sandbox you can implement or something you can test with or play to learn like that sort of environment.
well, how do you sandbox an entire ecosystem? Because these systems aren't isolated. They're part of this integrated like kingdom of different systems. There's a
Yeah,
million
shit.
different systems that are all integrating and interacting with each other. And yes, of course, you can sandbox something at some point,
Or isolate
but
some stuff, yeah, but still, it's
yeah.
it's it's the underlying infrastructure. So if people stop learning this, then what? The infrastructure dies away, or what happens?
Well,
That's
so
the tale as old as time, right? Either AI learns how to do Cobalt, and then you got your own problems
But
there.
then do you trust it with all the
Well,
COBOL?
that's why you have your own problems there. Because, with most of these, if there's a banking error, right, that's a pretty big problem for society if all of a sudden every account has either, couple extra zeros or, minus a couple extra zeros, right? Just to say it bluntly, right? Like that's a big problem.
so
So,
the answer to that is my job, is what our team is doing, is developing modern systems that replace these legacy
Okay.
systems. And so you want to slowly start phasing out these legacy systems for newer frameworks that are more secure, faster, more scalable, more modular, and have, modern design principles
So let me
built in
ask you
mind.
this: what about the COBOL that made it so secure that we're able to replicate now? Right? That's as equally secure, I guess. What is that?
You're above my pay grade, man. I don't know
I
like if we're
as
doing
I
a
understand,
security analysis of a
yeah.
system, we have to look at like the attack vectors, like where are the input vectors, where are the
That sounds like your
outputs.
game, man. That's right up your alley. No, I'm just
Yeah, no, I mean I would love to sit down with a COBOL code base and like look at like what the security concerns are, but I've never in my life done anything close to that.
yeah. No, it was just it piqued an interest with all this different.
I mean, I imagine it's the same primary concerns you would think about when securing a modern web application is you look at how are people able to access this application? Are they able to access sensitive data? Are they able to write sensitive data? Are they able to delete sensitive data? How do we handle user permissions?
Yeah, but is the reason what more so is the reason that they kept it?
Kevin,
It's
can you hit your mute button for me? Thank you, big dog.
oh, it's so cool.
Love you, Kulat.
But my question is, what kept COBOL for so long? Was it because it worked and that's it? People were just like, oh, it works, don't fuck with it, or was it like a security thing? Like it's like, oh, it's so secure, don't like no one's gonna be able to hack it or break it or whatever it is, and that's why they stuck with it so long. Like I don't know, it's a weird
Well,
thing because like what
why are mainframes still in effect? Like, why do some companies still have a literal mainframe, which is a giant skeleton across the room with, compute?
Well, it's an IBM product. So
Right.
I think again, I'm not a security expert, but if I was a
yeah,
betting man, I would bet that COBOL-based systems have all of the same security vulnerability classes that we, in a general sense, look for in our modern web applications. It's not like there's a silver bullet that's going to protect you from, because like half of all of your security vulnerabilities are just people being idiots and like leaking their password or something like that. And you can't protect from stupid, which is which
the
is the reality, man.
social
Um,
engineering shit.
yeah, you can't protect from stupid. Um, but IBM was such a successful company, not just in the US, but worldwide. And they built wonderful, wonderful products that contain the backbone for multi-billion dollar companies, for financial institutions. And so I think COBOL's success really is riding off of
The hardware
IBM.
delivered with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that and the way it does numerical transactions or data, how it processes that is one of the fastest to my understanding, and I could be wrong on this, but I thought there was a reason that like, oh, why don't they all just go to HPC systems if they're spending all this money? Well, because I guess they couldn't beat the mainframe supposedly, as it was explained to me.
Speed's a concern, security is a concern, but I'm from the South, and we got a phrase down here, not here, but in Tennessee, we say if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
That too.
That's what I was alluding to. I was like, was that really what the reason? Because if that's what it
Dude,
is,
that's how every company is, man. I mean, you guys have this at your own company. I
oh
know
yeah.
I know you do.
Dude, you want to hear about the craziest thing that just happened? We just transferred everything from our local drives and hardware that's in house to the cloud, right? And all of our files got transferred, but nothing inside of the files got transferred with it.
Nothing inside of the files.
Everything got transferred file wise, just nothing inside the files.
So wait, is it just like all the file names, but they're just empty?
Like, bro, I went into a
God,
file for
that's so
location
good.
because I needed to
That's
pull out
so
boxes.
good, dude. That's such a fucking it's classic,
Like, I'm
bro.
searching through like 1,000 different site locations, and I'm like, there's no way none of these have photos inside of them. And each one I click, empty. I'm like, holy shit. I go to the IT guys, and he comes back. One of the new guys, I felt bad. And he comes back to me. He's like, I think you have to drag and drop each one that you want to transfer over. I was like, dude, good luck.
Gosh. Yeah, no, you can definitely write a script to automate that, but
I was gonna say,
yeah,
now
but
you can organize everything or even take a connector and, you know, like I know Box has a connector that you just have and it looks like it's on your local drive and it you can just mirror your Box environment. I imagine there's a similar thing. So
Kevin
Yeah.
just sent a video of George W. Bush when he was giving his famous "Fool Me Once"
Oh,
speech.
fool me twice.
Here, let me just share it. It's a classic video. Here we go. Let's put this on. J. Cole sampled this in a song.
I love that song.
Oh wait, did you guys see it?
No,
Oh,
I was
I
waiting.
I was sorry, I played it, but I didn't share it. Here we go.
Now we can't hear it. I can't hear it at least.
I can't hear it.
You couldn't hear it?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny. I,
Um,
I I always say like tech guys have the worst, like the most problems with tech.
That's never been true in my
Share
life.
sound. I got it. I clicked the checkbox that says share sound. This is a learning experience, guys. This is the first time we've done a YouTube live stream. This is the first time I've shared a
Yeah,
sound
fair enough.
on Zoom, so we're just learning new things. I don't know if we're gonna learn anything about robots today,
No, no,
but
I've been messing. He said he was all in earlier, and now he's our presenter is MIA.
the the Bangladeshi guy stopped responding, so I just decided not to chase him because I'm like, look, if this is how our relationship starts, that tells me everything I need to know.
Sure, agreed.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on, shame on you." You fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Drop the J. Cole song right now. Boom.
Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. Fool me
Fool
three
me three
times,
times.
fuck the peace sign. Load the chop, let it rain on you.
Hey. Jake's got it.
That's such a hard thing to say, dude. I actually love that song.
Dude, it's great. Oh, he really said, fuck it, I'm not joining this rap beef. Shame.
Oh, dude, that was no. He did join it, and then he like respectfully backed out and
Yes.
apologized, which
Yeah,
is
bro.
like the best move of all time. He was like, you know what? Actually, Kendrick,
No,
you
I'm good.
good. My
I
bad,
don't
dog.
need this. Yeah. I was like, what
Gosh,
the fuck? It is what it is.
yeah,
You
that
could have
that
When
actually done
Kendrick
this
versus
out of it.
Drake beef was that was so entertaining.
reminds me of, well, who was that guy? Who was the comedian that like was talking all like talking about all the Diddy stuff, and he was on like all these podcasts, and he
Cat
was big.
Williams.
Yes, Cat
Cat Williams, the
Williams.
man.
And then he's like, I'm never going back to Hollywood. And then I just saw he was in like a movie trailer.
No, because he made up
Nah,
his
nah,
own
Cat
heart.
Williams, the man. He's the truth.
Yeah, I'm with you. But he went wild when he was on that one podcast with
Shannon Sharp or something.
yeah, whatever he was going. Oh, I remember his clip was going everywhere. Man, it was
Dude,
like,
he's so funny.
no, he has classic stand-ups.
No, he
He was talking all this smack about Kevin Hart. I think he was in a Kevin Hart movie.
I
That's
saw
that's the
I
only
saw
reason
that
I
clip.
said. That's the only reason I said that.
Yeah, so they say like the conspiracy theory or whatever. So we're just gonna go into a Joe Rogan episode here.
I
Because we
guess
ain't got
so.
nothing else going on, boys.
Dude.
I did not prepare anything. I thought this. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go with JRE, guys. No, so the conspiracy theory is that like Hollywood needs to have dirt on you, and they make you go to like the Diddy parties and do like weird stuff that like just weird stuff, and then
You
that's
want
how
to
they
wait?
like get
You want to
control of
turn off
you.
the live stream if we're gonna?
No, I
No,
mean
leave it.
we can leave it, but I'm just not gonna say like the keywords, but we all know what the keywords are.
So I'll tell you a quick tidbit, right? There was this guy, I was working at T-Mobile, I guess years ago now, and there was this guy that came into the store, and he had cleats on, right? And this guy couldn't look older than 40, 50 in my book. I'm talking to him, whatever. His phone has issues, this, that, the other. And he's like, I'm like, yo, what happened? Your shoes, whatever. He insulting. He's like, you don't believe my story. I was like, yeah, I probably won't. And he goes, and he goes, I was gonna be one of the most famous actors in all of Hollywood. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, Jamie Foxx took the role I was gonna take. I was like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people say that too. He's like, oh, I see. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. You wouldn't believe me if I told you he took it up that.
Was he black?
Yeah. He's
Okay,
like, you
because
wouldn't believe
that
me.
would be crazy if a white guy said that.
No. He's like, you wouldn't believe me if I told you he took it from the back to get that movie. And I'll tell
I,
you
I,
other people
I,
that
I believe him, dude. I'll
he
tell you what,
goes,
I believe him.
I know so many and I saw it with my own eyes. And I was like, with your own eyes, were you there? He's like, I saw it with my own eyes for some of these. And I'll name the actors. Some of them you won't know because you might be too young. And I go, too young? I was like, dude, how old are you? And he goes, I'm 70 years old, 71 in a week or whatever. And I was like, what? It's like, I've been married 4 times. I was like, sounds like you had the Hollywood life without the Hollywood career, bro. And he was going off and he started showing me his wives and all the stories. And looking into it, bro. And the guy was legit. The movies he was mentioning, I was trying to audition for at the time and all this shit. But yeah, he pretty much was like, if you're not taking, and he's like, I refuse to take it. I would never bring my dignity and honor to do such a thing. And he was like, and that's why I never did anything besides being extra and B list and stuff.
Hmm.
Crazy. Well,
Dude, I believe him.
I don't know.
He's probably pretty schizo. He's probably lying a lot. It's probably like 99% lies, but that like 1%, bro.
What that made him crazy is probably the true. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Damn, fuck, man, people.
So let's talk about some tech stuff, man. I've been working on an AWS certification. It's AWS Solution Essentials, I believe. It's kind of their entry level. It's a free certification. It's like 14 modules, and it goes over like every uh solution and every aspect of the whole AWS infrastructure system. Um, in like a very basic level of detail. So everything from their managed databases to their security groups and
Are
their
you learning
virtual
a lot?
networks and their yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
No
Um,
shit.
it's free too. So if you're a big fan of AWS and you want to expand your cloud knowledge, it's a pretty good little deal. The way I got into it is I I've been kind of like a little bit obsessed with like my online presence on LinkedIn because I
Oh,
like
I've
some
seen
people
you
follow
going
me on
off.
LinkedIn stuff. I've been kind of going off like a little bit on LinkedIn and I don't know, like I get a little bit of traction. I always have this thing of like whatever you're doing that's working, like double down on it. So I'm like, okay, how can I
Nice.
double down on it? So like one of the things is like, okay, well let's get one of these certifications, just throw on my LinkedIn. So I like search it up on Claude, like, hey, what's a certification I can get in like 1 to 7 days? And just pump up my numbers. And so I found this one. It turned out I've been working on it for like a month, dude. I'll log in for like a couple hours and do like
Oh,
one
it's
of the
actually harder
modules.
than it is.
It's just long, dude. Like I said, it's 14 modules, and every module is like takes you like an hour if you're like moving pretty fast.
But like,
Um,
how much knowledge do you have to have? Like, can you start with entry level, or do you need to have some prior knowledge?
it is this is entry level.
Oh yeah.
It's entry level.
So some stuff you would skip through, like you would know it already, type shit. Or
Yeah, honestly, man, I try to always approach things like assuming that I don't know anything.
that's a good way.
And that's kind of like actually when I started it, that's kind of what I thought. I said, "Oh, I've been using AWS. I have like all these AWS accounts that I run for this and that and this. Oh, I probably know all this stuff." And I like rushed through it. I was like, "Hold on, wait, hold on. Let's actually do this right." And I started over. And I'm like, let me go through all these videos, like actually go through all the modules the way they wanted me
Hmm.
to. And it's very well produced and it's a good level of knowledge. You can get in there from the ground level. You can get all of the essential details without getting into the mud. And it has this nicely produced video series with these guys. They make all these like really corny jokes, but it's like low key, like kind of funny. It's well produced. They put some production value into it.
Sick.
Actually,
No.
uh, on that chart, I need to get back to I my organization got me ITIL 5. Um, so ITIL is a learning is a IT management framework. And so they just came out with ITIL version 5, including AI, like back in like February, I think. Um, so I need to get back on that, studying for that because like you said, I'm like, well, you gotta start back and assume I know nothing, right? Because as soon as you think you know everything, you're on the top of Mount Stupid.
Yeah.
So
What's that?
Yeah.
The Dunning-Kruger effect?
yeah, don't I've heard that more in the last month than I probably ever have in my life because there's a lot of people that are like, just in general nowadays. just because you can rewrite an application custom to you doesn't mean it's good for like an organization or an enterprise, right? Like I could tell Claude to remake, an HR system in like probably 2 hours, like full end to end, right? But then it's like, well, it's not exactly the same, and there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
And who's going to maintain it?
Well, and that's the biggest part of every solution that's made is, well, let's just say somebody was like, "Oh, hey Mike, like could you just make me an application to do X, Y, and Z?" I'm like, "Yeah, could I do that? Yes, I could pump that out like probably end to end, like ready to go in a week." But then there's the considerations for maintenance, which are like, well, what happens if it goes down? Like, so how many of like projects could one person really manage, watch the logs, do all the maintenance for, right? Like they usually have complete enterprise teams for these type of things, right? Like you're probably on that team, Jake, right? At least
You
sidebar
want to
mentor.
outsource as much of it as possible. That's why everyone's moving to the cloud. Mo, you guys are doing that. We're literally doing that. That's our whole new system. It's all AWS based. So instead of having your guys manage your own infrastructure and stuff, you want to outsource as much of it as humanly possible,
You
which
try to keep
leaves
your overhead low.
your personnel to do shit that actually matters and not do janitor work.
Yeah. And then the argument is like, well, why can't AI do that? And it's like, well, then you have to build an AI system and framework around maintaining an application.
Who maintains the
And
AI?
then who maintains the AI? So,
Who
so
watches
it's
the
just,
Watchmen?
yeah, it's a vicious circle. And
No, I mean I don't trust AI I don't trust AI to be like the last line of defense. I
no,
trust AI to be like the first
the
line of
first.
defense. But like the AI can never be the adult in the room. The adult in the room has to be the human every time.
Yeah,
No, there's no way you could take the human out of the loop. But the problem is now it's like,
You can
okay,
try.
yeah, well, you could certainly take humans, you could reduce a team size and still get a result. Now, is that person gonna be freaking miserable? Yeah. So then there's that component of it. But like, I see this all the time. Like now that things are moving from, we're going from the baseline is starting to be people need to expect to be able to prompt and just like log into AI like at the most basic level and have some semblance or some mild use, right? And then you have on the other spectrum, you have your super users who are probably at every company spending at least half of their budget, right? And it's a small group of people. And then it's like, at the top, you have all this, it's like an inverted pyramid with spend. And, on top of all that, it's like, well, how do you quantify value that you're getting? Because the argument could be made like, okay, we're spending twice as much, but in these areas we're 5 times as, producing as much value. Well, how can you really quantify that first off? And if that's true, then yes, you're getting more for relative to what you're giving, but you're still spending more. So then like the question is, okay, so what do we do here? And then now with like multi-agent systems going up, we're starting to see more and more research going into um, small language models, being more multimodal and have more capabilities and fine tuning. And, because as I understand it, ChatGPT 5, like the main reason that it was hitting such good, it was so highly ranked was because it was able to call tools really well. So it wasn't actually doing the arithmetic when it was doing math problems, for example. It was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm going to invoke the calculator for this. And they trained it so well to use tools, right? So, well, can you replicate that with the smaller language models?
so I'll tell you this, based off what you're saying with that. I saw something online that talked about how the next thing is not really building apps anymore or building like GUIs and interfaces for people to interact with and use them. It's more to build tools for the AIs to grab onto and use them and spit out end results. And just building that tool without any interface or anyone really having to do anything. You're just using that, sending it to an AI, almost like an API connector that just anyone could use. They're saying that's the next big thing in like
It
instead of
is.
the apps.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so I'll tell you my thoughts on it. Token usage can go very, very high, very fast. It's easy to jump $1,000, $10,000, $50,000 down a drain. And AI companies are not making money. If you look at the amount of money that like OpenAI is spending versus making, they are still losing money, which means that they are undervaluing their tokens. And this token problem is going to continue to become more expensive. So there was this idea in the tech hiring market that, oh, we're going to stop hiring junior engineers. We're going to stop hiring mid-level engineers and just replace them with AI. And for a short while, that was working because the AI was actually cheaper. The token costs were cheaper, and they were able to get more leverage out of a couple senior guys rather than a couple senior guys with AI than a couple senior guys plus their entire teams. Now that's starting to turn around, and those same companies are hiring in the mid-level and junior level guys to do the same roles that they were doing before because the cost of the tokens has exploded so much. Now, I do think that the best way to think about AI is to think about any technological tool as a force multiplier, as a way to increase your output, increase your accuracy, just whatever you're doing already, optimize that. And I
mhm.
think it is good at that. Um, and I think that we need to stop thinking about our AI models as like one big giant model that just does everything to thinking about, okay, well, you have your LLM, then you have your harness, then you have all of your tools and your
Mhm.
ecosystem that it's involved in. And so you have to start thinking about your AI as a system and a collection of smaller models that are capable of doing specialized jobs because that's what's going to cause the savings. Now, going on what you were saying, Mo, um, I saw today that I don't remember if it was Uber Eats or Grubhub, but one of those two apps released a CLI interface, so you can go order your burrito to come to you in a car programmatically without interacting with a GUI. Now, so yeah, a lot of companies are, it's funny because this is kind of how it was like originally. Like, this was how it was back in the days. You would have to send, an HTTP request like to this API, and that's how you would like do stuff in like the DARPA days or whatever. And then
And then
everyone
each
like
thing
grew
needed
up
in
and
its own API and everything before MCPs and all that. Yeah.
so yeah, so then the next thing is MCPs, right? Because when you have an API that puts the responsibility of maintaining uh, the program that interacts with your API on the developer that's interacting with you. But when you create an MCP server, that really helps the LLM interact with your service without them needing to maintain it. That puts the responsibility on you to
Mhm.
maintain the MCP server. So yeah, this is a huge thing.
Yeah. So like going back to the multi-model system. So NVIDIA has this, you go to build.nvidia.com and you can look at all these I just filtered for NVIDIA's because they have quite a range of different like models that you could download or even test out here,
Are these
including
just
like
all open?
yeah, including like you got your streamers, you got your voice recognition, you've got your Like they have so many, um, they've been working on this. I saw an interview with Jensen Huang, and this was about Jetson, and then of course they killed the Jetson Nano, so there's no more support for that, because I think they're going in this new direction where they're saying, yeah, so now that they've had the hardware, they're really trying to be the open source provider of it because obviously you want to buy their stuff with their model, and then use their models, right? How many pages? They got 78 models on here, so 4 pages. So they have 3D foundation models. They have their own embedding models. They have their
So
multimodal
what's
models.
what's their flagship LLM model? What's their like
That
Chat
would
GPT
be
5?
Nemotron.
Nemotron, that's their big boy. Can we
Yeah.
try them out? Do
Yeah.
we do we have a chat interface? Can we ask him some
Yeah, let
questions,
me
see how he does?
Nemotron 3, this should be the one.
Super.
Super.
You didn't even bother to even read that, Mike. They could be
No, I
taking your
didn't.
entire life savings.
Playground. All right, what do we want to do?
Build a dumb web app,
Ask
kid.
it ask it that stupid car wash question. You know the one I'm
Oh,
talking about?
yeah, it's been a while. What
Okay,
was it?
this is how it goes.
Oh,
It's
the-
Let me, I could probably find it.
uh okay, so you're 200 meters away from a car wash. Is it better to walk there or
oh.
drive there?
That's a
The
good
car wash,
question. Yeah.
uh, oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, that's the one.
Should I walk or drive?
Oh, I have another good one. I have another good one
All right,
after
we'll do
this.
this one
Let's
first,
see if we can trick it.
and then it's open weight, so you could adjust.
Oh, you can adjust the weights like as you use it?
Hmm.
That's crazy.
They have a Harry Potter tool, I guess. So it's thinking. But yeah, like think about, so another thing that's keeping these big companies alive right now is government regulations, in general, but like once because policy is slowest to change,
Videos keeping
and
them alive, Mike.
people are people are doing things outside of policy all over, like enterprise. So policy's gonna have to change here soon for most companies if it hasn't already.
I'm no finance guy, but I see a lot of people saying this is the next dot-com bubble that's about to burst, especially with the way
Well, there's a lot of
Nvidia.
circular spend, so
Yep.
I could see that. Who knows though?
The way Nvidia takes money, gives these guys money, these guys give buying from Nvidia. Nvidia gives it back out. Full circle. New York State just banned AI data centers from being built.
Yeah, but
Uh,
then again, Mo, I thought that housing prices were overpriced during COVID, and now look who's got egg on his face.
what do you mean?
They're like 75% more
Oh, you thought the
houses
houses would
than,
drop
yeah.
after COVID? You're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I mean, dude, the way the AI data center boom was happening for my business, especially, we tracked that heavily. And the way we just scaled back because of uncertainties in the waters, we'll say, speaks.
So so I think the underlying question here is, okay, so by the way, the trick worked.
Yeah.
This
What
is
is
pretty
it?
funny. Yeah. Michael, to explain to anyone
Oh my
watching
God.
Okay.
what the result was here, and
So
then
the
I'll tell you
question
what.
was, I want to wash my car. The car wash is 50 meters away. Should I walk or drive? Right? So then it started saying why walking is the better choice. And it's saying that, it's starting to do some arithmetic and planning, saying that driving is going to take longer than walking, right? So it's health and well-being too. Walking boosts circulation, mood, and energy. Far better than sitting idle in your car for no reason. I have a reason. I want to clean my car. So,
See, this is such a good example of how LLMs have gaps. Is that they're so good at, I know it's not parroting, I know it's not, fill in the next word, but this is something that is so obvious to someone that's using like actual deductive reasoning and logic, and LLMs just don't really work that way. They have
That's
a
why, like
different
you said
way of
earlier,
modeling the world.
that's what you said earlier. You need to be the adult in the room. Can't be the AI.
So
but now let's take
you
a
were
look
you
at
were saying
this.
earlier, do you think the AI is a bubble?
It's gonna pop. I'm starting to invest in video games that I know are gonna be a success.
You should invest in my video game, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah. Have you played version point 4?
No, I have not. Version point
Dude,
4.
it's released, man. Stampcollectorsimulator.com. It's live, it's production. We got images, it's sound. We got a prestige system, XP, perks, better gameplay mechanics.
Oh,
Here's something interesting though. The five, so they have their 550, which you cannot run locally unless you have some juicer or like a whatever Jensen Huang just put out for their like Spark 300 or whatever. Um, that one can do like a trillion parameter model. But yeah, so
Oh, but
this
this
one
guy got it.
550 got it. Llama
oh, it's
Nematron embed. Okay.
changed the whole thing.
See a 30B model. And you know what's interesting too? Um, I think I think that there
That's
are
uh-huh.
some models that are actually, and this is what's hard, right? Because you look at like, oh, oh, this one's not even working. Interesting.
Nice to know
Uh,
that one of the biggest tech companies in the world still fucks up.
yeah, no doubt about it. Oh,
No,
wait, I think that's because no, mixture of experts. Okay.
No, I
it
remember being in
looks
high school thinking that like adults and people working at like big businesses are like really smart and they like don't make mistakes.
just
And then when I became an adult and started working at a big business, I just realized like everyone makes the same mistakes all the way up to the top. Like you got like guys in the government and CEOs that make like second grade level mistakes all the time. So this one
See,
failed
this
too.
is sick.
yeah. So this
This is a good test.
49B, yeah, interesting. Because they could be really great at one thing that I've seen, and then they're terrible at everything else. Or when you start to get multi-turn, like so there's a lot of ways to fuzz up the data, so to speak, and show yourself on top generically. Um, yeah. And then they have OCR multilingual like jailbreak classification for protection of address. Okay, so they have that. Interesting. Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff. The fastest. Okay, let's see. What does speed buy us?
Is it gonna be like that AI you showed me, Jimmy Cricket or whatever, that gave me bullshit answers every time I asked a question?
This one just said walk.
I
Okay.
like that it gave me less words though. The first couple ones were so annoying because it's like 5 paragraphs of like this stupid wellness and like how does it impact the environment? What about gender studies? It's like I just needed like one word really.
Yeah. Let's see. No reasoning. Is it smarter without reasoning? Oh!
No reasoning.
No, but this
Good
is interesting. You will likely use the car wash vacuum or the interior cleaner, cleaning amenities. With
The
it, if you
wet
walk
walk
back, so
problem.
now I'm going
Uh,
back with wet hands and a dripping wet towel.
Yeah, that's when you
The wet
arrive at
walk
the
problem.
right answer, but your work is still wrong.
Dude, it's like, yeah.
The
Oh my
wet
gosh.
walk problem. What the
That's
fuck?
terrible.
And this one is saying, 50 meters, that's like a 60-second stroll. All the others were like doing the arithmetic, which is interesting. Walking in
So it's a good
unpleasant
bullshit.
weather.
It's a good
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah, it is. But that's why, like, let's look up.
You know what's been happening for me recently? So I'm one of these just terrible people that scroll shorts. I'll go on Instagram and just
Yeah, I've
scroll
been
the
doing that
shorts, you know?
recently. And while
It's bad.
driving.
It's bad, man. I probably need to like delete it from my phone or something. I
Never
did actually.
works. Never
I
works.
shut it down for like 2 weeks and I went back, but I get a lot of AI videos, man, and every once in a while one of them catches me. Every once in a while I think one is real, and then I open up the comments, everyone's like, this is AI, and look at the hand after he like raises it again. You're like, oh yeah, that is different. Um, do you guys ever get caught by AI generated videos that you think are real until you
Too
like really
often
look
now.
closely?
One time, bro, there was like I saw like someone giving a podcast thing, and then I was like, and then they said something like very off character, and I was like, I don't know if they'd really say that. And I opened the comments, and you're like, this is bullshit. This is AI. I've seen the real interview. Stop spreading misinformation. I was like, oh shit. You gotta watch out, bro. People just do the easiest things because a podcast, there's not a lot of movement. There's not a lot of this. They're sitting down, they're talking.
That would be a great way to get a lot of views. Just start like a fake channel and find someone like I think the best way to do it would find someone that everyone already hates, like Andrew Tate, and get him to say like even crazier stuff.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm telling you. But then he gets sued for defamation.
Hey, he's in jail right now.
Yeah, but then I don't know. I don't want to get sued.
Yeah. What are they gonna do? You're in a
You
different
know what?
country.
Actually, don't do that, guys. Don't do any type of fraud. Don't misrepresent people. Let's use AI for the force of good. Don't do any of that.
Yeah, climate
Well,
change.
that much I agree with,
Yeah,
but
let's keep it
um,
moral.
so I've been seeing a lot of stuff just like around lately on this multi-agent thing because Hermes,
Mike, walk me through this, dude. You just pulled up the coolest looking picture here. Walk me through what's going on here.
yeah. So
Zoom in a little too if you can. Should I
what's
just
that?
do it for my own? Oh yeah.
So there's a couple different ways people could go about this now. Like with Hermes, as I understand, you could hook up like they have like 19 or 20 or who knows how many now options to integrate. Like you could do like Slack or whatever, but one of the ones that a lot of people are demoing is what's that it's like Signal, Tell something,
Telegram.
Telegram. So people are using Telegram, I think, and because they offer, I think it's that one that offers the built-in support for agents, and because they're so far ahead of the game in terms of agent support for
Hmm.
AI models.
There's actually a
Um,
guy in the group that does that. Justo, he has his own AI agent. He
yeah, so
runs
you
it through
could,
Telegram.
yeah, so like for example, on a DJX Spark, you could probably put between like 3 and 5 full agents on there with localized like 27 beat, like Gemma 27, right? You could probably put like three comfortably, and you can have them all like then debate, right? So then you have you send in a message or essentially your prompt, and then the agents, and you can include multiple different systems too and have as many agents as you want, but they will just continuously debate and it'll look like a crazy work chat is going off, and they're all like talking about different things and working in parallel, right? And then they come back, and then you could leave it to your decision to like, okay, that's what we do, right? So then you hook up your MCP server with all your tools, and then you provide them all the abilities that they need, right? But the cool thing about Hermes and OpenClaw now is that it stores its memory, and then you have like a, so here I'll go through this, right? So you have your task, right? And then you could structure your message, and then agent N is, for the number of agents, right? So it could be one, could be 100. And then they go in this like loop, right? So each singular agent has their context window, their tool calling policies, and their biases, right? So then you have in there though, you create these specialized agents, right? So you have one that's like, oh, like I'm a database administrator, and I'm a, cloud support engineer, or I'm, a customer service representative, whatever, right? So that you can build on those through the work that you put them through over the course of, I think, 30 days is what they recommend. Um, and then obviously you have then you go back, and a well-designed system that I've seen so far has been like, you have a supervisor, your workers, which then can have sub-agents and so forth, right? This was the one that I was just discussing, the peer topology, where they all kind of debate, or you build out a literal business for yourself for any and all like of your work. So if you think about, okay, if my job, my role and everything had to be turned into a business, well, that makes me the CEO or the board of directors, would probably more likely. And then you have your CEO agent and so forth. So you could really build it out nowadays with these smaller models, especially since people are fine tuning. But what I found is that, so you have your finite context window, right? Then you have your tools and skills, and then that third level is like an SQLite database. And so once you reach a certain amount of context window, then you probably want a tool call policy to go into place. Like, let's say for Anthropic, like a lot of people are saying that it degrades around 400,000 tokens of
Yeah, I've
context.
seen that.
So because of that, you may say, okay, have a tool invoke, like whenever it's done, when it gets close to that or whatever, you have it summarize what it's been doing, prepare lessons learned, and so forth, and then go into a database. And then one of your tools will be to access this shared memory database. So you're essentially going from, everything being in RAM with context window to, okay, we may have to go into the hard drive and, you know, go capture, whatever we need to. So that, and I have a kind of an example of this, which is, we can see where the game's at right now. So I've been on a loop for the last week and a half, maybe I think it's been about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
Oh,
Uh, I've been I haven't touched this at all. The only thing I did was the other day is I took in some example models and I just threw them over here. I said, go find them and figure out what you can use. But I described my game and everything and had it start building out, so you can see they're all derping out right
Hold
now.
on, hold on, hold on. You're not sharing the right
I
screen.
can't
You're
see
still on
Oh,
anything.
the,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh, good. Yeah, thank you. I'll share this one.
Hmm.
So this is what I had briefly spoken to you about, um, Jake, and it's
Oh shoot. This is so the AI agent did create
this
this
entire
map.
thing. All I did was I hooked up a few plugins and such, but yeah, the whole map was built. Now there's nothing on the interiors because it hasn't looped into that yet. And I wouldn't, I don't know if Claude is the right one, or at least the Claude models that I've been doing are correct models for this job. But it's convenient because I hook up here's what you do. I'll show you. You do,
This looks like a great map, man.
Right?
and
Can't
then
believe it's on
do
Roblox.
RC. So just running remote control here, you can now access this from your device. So through your Claude subscription, um, you could select your models and give it all the context and so forth. And like, yeah, it's gotten to a level of detail so far, but the models aren't correct. Not all of them at least. So, and I could share, let me pull this up, where we started, or about a half a week ago. I was trying to get a trailer first, which was dumb. I thought it would just build the game and understand. No, you have to be verbose with it. So eventually I got it to start checking in with me. Let's see.
Can you do cutscenes with Roblox?
Well, yeah, you could do it with there with Blender, or there's a seed dance now that people are talking about.
Like you could do like a full cutscene, like of a, let's say, a solo single player.
Yeah, so the way you would do that is you would just take away the camera control from the player, and then you would have the camera do a scripted
And
thing, and then the world would be doing a scripted thing.
yeah, so this was I may have showed this to you, Jake. So this was one of the better early videos.
This doesn't look bad. You sent me one that looked like some weird modern art shit. It was like kind of disturbing. I was like, there
Yeah,
might be a use case for this in like a French film festival. This one doesn't look too bad.
What is this? Is this for the
this
game?
is supposed to be the trailer for the game. Yeah.
What is it? So what is the idea? Is it supposed to clean? Oh yeah, clean the town. I guess it did its job. I figured out what to do from the game.
Yeah. Let's
Did
see
it
what
make it look
else.
exciting though?
No, we probably want something, one of the other ones. So there were, is that a cut? There's something in here from the originals. It was brutal. I don't know if I saved it or if I wiped it. It's like I might have wiped it. That's unfortunate. So the original, yeah, the original was pretty brutal. Yeah.
All right, fellas.
But yeah,
I'm gonna start getting ready for having some dinner and going to bed. Um, so Mike, man, what do you reckon happened to old what's his name? Nathaniel.
I have no idea, man.
Well, yeah, why don't you connect up with him and give him a little bit of a shit test, see if
Yeah, he said this morning he's excited to do this, and then I checked in with him. He said, "Yeah, good to go, 6:30." And then I said, "We're ready for you." And then I said, "Will you be presenting today?" And then where you at? So I called him the other day. He messaged me and said, "Yeah, I'm dialed in. I'm ready to go." So
man, I'm in Brazil. I'm so used to that. I swear. It's like that's how everyone is in Brazil. They're just flakes.
yeah. So I'm sorry I wasted your guys' time tonight, I guess, but
No,
at
it's
least
cool,
I got to
man.
show you guys something I've been working on.
No, we had a cool little discussion. It's all
And
good.
you learned about NVIDIA having
No, I think
all
it
this
was a good
stuff.
one, especially
Yeah.
for Jake to get his live streaming testing out of the way for the first time.
Yeah, see. It's good. We got a little
Perfect.
live stream test. We had some good conversation subject. We tried out a couple models, asked that trick question. We saw the project Mike's working on. We talked about weird stuff in Hollywood. I mean, we had a good little talk. All right, guys.
I'll catch you later.